Anyways, are you clicking your abilities? What are you doing? Okay, first of all, you're entering the lane too late, so that's the problem. I would go Corruption Potion against MMR, well, against a champion like this. However, the MMR you're playing in, the players aren't actually going to properly abuse you. You should already be over here. You come late to lane, that's the first issue. You should already be autoing these minions, so that's a problem, right? You enter the lane really poorly. You know that Orianna can just hit you with the Q like this, so that's wrong. You should enter the lane like this and start autoing and working on these frontline minions. That's another problem. And then you don't Q, and then, like, again, you're standing still, right? Like, that's an issue. When you're playing mid lane, like, again, for all the low MMR players here, let me actually just show you what you need to be doing when you're playing in mid lane. Hold on. So you're gonna lock in Annie, alright? Hopefully not have smite, go ignite, and I'll show you how to actually properly move inside of the game. Okay, and when you lane, first of all, you click faster, okay? Your clicks are too slow, right? And then after you kill the minion, you have to give the next input, right? So like if I was to do this, for example, just so I can get rid of my hotkeys and everything here. So I'm gonna last hit a minion, right? So I'm gonna wait for the next last hit. And look at my next input that I do. So I'm gonna auto Q. My next input is back because I'm on cooldown now. When I'm on cooldown, I'm not trying to fight the enemy, so I'm gonna click back. In most cases, when you use an ability, your next input on your mouse should be most of the time just back. So if you watch a high elo player play any mid laner, and they use a cooldown, usually they're gonna move backwards, right? Because they don't want to get hit. That's the first issue. You don't want to just start autoing and then standing still. That's a problem. You always want to move like this. This is something that you see a lot of high elo players do. This helps you essentially stay on your toes, right? You're able to constantly change the range at which you're able to attack the enemy at. You see the circle here constantly changes range as you move up and down. You stay unpredictable, and it also helps you essentially dodge when you are being thrown, a skill shot at. You can't actually get a push on her because it is Orianna. She messes up, and when she does this, you should just move up to her and give her a Q, yet you don't do that. And you know that you've already lost on the push advantage because of the HP that this minion has, and the HP that this minion has, and the HP that this minion has, relative to the HP that the enemy's minions, that the enemy wave has. So all you need to do next time is move in, give her a Q, back off. If you Q her right now, these 3 minions don't actually jump on you because they're constantly locked around these 3 other minions. So these 3 minions, these 6 minions are essentially inside of a lock. So they're not going to jump on you if you just auto or Q her, right? Unless you move all the way here and then you opt to Q, in which then obviously they will move in and these 3 casters jump on you, which would be bad. But there's no reason for you not to just move in, knowing that she has her Q on cooldown. Throw a Q on her and then constantly then just back up after the spell that I just mentioned. When you obviously go into the, when you throw out a spell, you back up, you do the same thing, and then you start working on this melee minion. And the reason you start working on this melee minion because you want to kill this wave as fast as possible, right? So that's why you essentially hit this minion first. Then you essentially back up, and then you wait for her to Q you wait for her to Q come back up, and then you wait for see again, like, this is too slow. And then her Q's up, and then she hits you again. So this is all bad. You end up then pulling the wave down to the south side of mid, which again, it's too slow. Like, you should have already been on it. And now when you move up, her Q is coming off of auto. Oh, Q auto. You could Q auto, yeah, but then what ends up happening is, if you walk up here, so let me explain this. So if you go back up, right, and then, so she uses her Q. If you walk up right now, and you hit her with the Q, that's fine. But if you hit her with an auto, what ends up happening is she can potentially get 2 autos on you. Orianna's passive ends up then actually potentially out-trading you, or you end up taking a lot more damage than you otherwise wouldn't have needed to take had you just not auto, thrown out a Q, and then immediately backed off on your next click, right? But obviously if the champion isn't able to reciprocate, then you can easily just Q them and then even also do an auto, because again, we just talked about how these 3 minions are essentially locked into each other, so they're not going to jump on you, right? And then these 3 minions are too far away to actually jump on you, so you're not going to actually generate any aggro from them. Again, you should pull the wave down to the south side because that's relative to where your jungler is. And yeah, see, like, this is too slow, and now her Q is back up and you end up getting hit by it. And now, like, when this happens, like, you tank the minions, this is whatever. Q, go, please kill it. Okay, here, you should just Q the minion. Okay, a lot quicker. Now she's on cooldown. What are we doing? Why don't you move up? Why are we letting her auto these minions for free? Doesn't make any sense, right? Why don't you just move up and then wait for her to if she aggresses onto you, you respond with the Q. She's on cooldown. These minions may actually jump on you, and this minion might also jump on you immediately, but that's fine, because you can actually just get the quick trade-off and then immediately back off. These minions might then pull up, but that's okay too, because it doesn't really change the lane state or in any awkward fashion, right? You might take an auto from this minion, but that's okay, because again, we have an HP advantage on her very, very slightly, so if we just give her a Q, she's not going to be able to reciprocate any damage, right? And if then she opts to auto, then these minions then actually end up jumping on her, so then we actually end up just going auto for auto, so it's absolutely fine, minion wise, right? So again, you should just move into her. You know she warded at this point, so you should just ping that ward, right? And now you want to be positioned a lot, like this is too dangerous, right? Why are you positioned here? Her Q is off of cooldown, so there's no reason for her not to just like Q you like this. This is poor. You should actually just approach the minion through the south side and auto it through here. This is a lot better. Every movement you're making, every click you're making is just incorrect, and this is what's holding you in gold.